So, okay, we're gonna be playing episode 3, Adventure of the Runaway Room. Whatever could this mean?
Sherlock silhouette. Isn't it crazy that there was 2 Sherlocks on the Sexy Man wiki?
Yeah, still haven't recovered. The Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter.
Can you hear the audio?
Yes.
Okay, good.
A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
It's every attorney
My
case.
friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes,
Literally.
once heard of the incident. I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Is he talking about Naruhodo?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Train.
Anime cutscene! Aw, they look so cute.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Why does he also sound
Railway
British?
station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives.
One of them just has a
These
face.
are Thomas and the Tank Engine's ancestors.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in awe of the British Rail.
Another marvelous loco.
Brian's Coco.
Brian's Coco.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
Her eye looked weird there. I don't know if you saw.
I suppose
Yeah.
you're visiting
Kinda.
students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
The longest cutscene
And
we've had so
welcome
far.
to the centre
Yeah.
of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
I hear barking.
Is that Mona?
Yeah.
I don't think I can hear her.
You might be able to hear on the stream.
Maybe.
Okay.
She's speechless.
What an incredible place.
It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating.
This is like Alice through their looking glass when you meet time.
Yeah. True.
This place is breathtaking. Looks like a fortress.
What's with the cogs in the back? There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
Certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's some more to the differences than just construction materials.
Yeah, this is like a Mario Kart level.
TikTok clock. What is this place
Literally,
again?
This is TikTok Clock. This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. Just in case you didn't notice from the cutscene.
Yeah, Lord Chief Justice.
He had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. They were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan.
But Kazuma can't.
No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma's death.
Yes.
And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done.
So we'd have to return to Japan.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain,
I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes.
yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
Which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. Are they just going over like what we had in the past so we didn't forget?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. My god.
Whoa!
Oh, okay. What would he even sound like?
Von Karma? He gives me Von Karma vibes.
Like Dracula,
Von-
maybe from the Symphony of the
Yeah.
Night. What is a man?
Yeah.
I trust
and
you
Von
aren't too
Karma-
exhausted after your long voyage from Japan.
Yeah, that's good.
It seems I'm 1 hour 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than we're standing around with nothing much to do.
Okay, buddy.
How fortunate.
Vortex.
So, introductions. I am Heart Vortex, Lord Chief Justice
Wow.
of the British Empire.
So true, buddy.
But enough talk. Have at you. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse.
Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Vortex. I'm Rinosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Mona barked when I said that. Ah, yes, thank you.
She disapproves.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
just leave. Oh, we can't. So, what are your impressions of our great capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city.
It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh!
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. City boasts tramways, piped water, and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
If they're not, we throw them out. Oh, yes, astounded is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Susato.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition that we'll be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle in its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world.
Hey, when are we gonna stop circle jerking about fucking Britain?
We just got here.
I wanna get to the case.
The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Okay. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely! I'm
Because
Mr.
it's
Kazuma
relatively
Asogi, if my
changeable.
memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for these shores. Aboard again,
It's fine.
It's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. Why the fuck did we even come here then? My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored his appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes.
Wow, look at their face difference, like...
Yeah. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that's true. You people are a miserable pile of secrets, and it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Vortex. What a name.
What
He
do you
just
have to say,
rotated
madam?
himself.
Yeah, he's like the ticket taker from the theater.
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Woody now! Well, Mr. Naruhodo. This is it then. Moment of truth. Show me the... yeah.
Show me the money.
The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Vortex. I was wondering if perhaps you could consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there is nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean? Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man.
Such a little doormat. Mr. Naruhodo! Stop being a doormat!
I could ruin things if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? There's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer. It's Miss Susato.
It's Miss Susan.
Actually, there's no one.
I
ending.
led you along. This was all a trick. I deceived you.
It's me. I can do it.
I can...
Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending
like a Pokemon character.
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can...
Looks like, I think his name is Cyrus or something like that.
I have no idea what he looks like, so...
He's like the gray, like... Actually, no. He doesn't look like that. He looks like one of the Team Rocket fuckers. I'm sorry, I'm like getting sidetracked. I need to find out who this Getsis, I think?
I've been spending every spare moment on a journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about the British law and the court proceedings while I was aboard the
Yeah, he looks
SSL
like
Claire.
Getsis.
You can show me the picture.
I'll send you an image.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, here you
put
go.
it on stream. The voyage from Japan is 50 days, I believe, not what you might call a full education. Okay.
Mostly the face. I don't think he dresses like that.
Can
This
I...
is better. This is a better image.
Okay,
There we go.
let me see if I can just add the... no.
It looks similar enough.
Yeah. Yeah, the bitmap just goes away immediately. Hang on. Let's put
It
it...
happens.
Yeah. Here you go.
Just like me, for real.
There it is. Yeah, he looks similar. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Sugi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. It must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I will do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please! 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, it was 31 seconds long. Not too brief,
okay.
not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say.
Is he gonna keep doing this?
Yeah. Which is a skill that would stand in you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? Well, let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes?
Ooh. I need to take my white ass to Six Flags.
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asugi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that plan? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. I don't know if I'm reading this right. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden?
You tell me, the animation budget doesn't allow for that.
Very well. You have your wish, I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test, okay.
Test.
So, what form will the test take exactly? Paper, A, B, C, D. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh?
Well, just like that? Alright.
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet. So this will be welcome news. Today?
Right away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test.
Even if he is a murderer.
Yeah. What could be simpler? Ugh, how do I get myself into these situations?
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Vortex?
Murder. Yes. Good question. Ah, I remember.
Knew it.
It's a murder trial.
Fucking a murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
You will. There's gonna be like fucking Von Karma too.
Yeah, that's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death?
Yeah,
Here in
dialogue
Great
in this
Britain,
series is
murderers
good.
are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to the British law?
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided that it's acceptable. But
Of course you have, you
you
fucking
can't
British bitch.
can't do that, can you?
Sure you can.
He looks like Gant.
Gant from...
From Ace Attorney.
Oh, yeah, true. Wow. he's
There's
looking
no
like
need
me.
to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
Uh-huh. So easy.
So the defendant
Okay.
may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose,
No pressure.
he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do the lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asugi. Compatriot.
Yeah.
I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. It's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. He really is like the Time Lord from Alice Through the Looking Glass. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it be?
I'm going home now.
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? No. I don't know what it says if you say you won't do it. I don't really want to waste time.
I don't want to find out.
Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. Wait, I probably wouldn't be able to say no anyway.
Yeah, fair.
15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through.
Harsh.
The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by.
Wait, what?
Go and acquire a ticket for passage back to East tomorrow. This conversation is over.
He's like fucking that bitch from Baldi's Basics. Why not Baldi's Basics? One where the guy is like, need to leave. It was called, yeah, it was Facade.
I'm just imagining the fucking... someone
Just
in
close
Baldi's
this door
Basics
and
looking
fit.
like this. Yes, Love Vortex.
So true.
Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato, but what could I do?
It's alright. I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Mrs. Sato means is no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, some kind of experiment.
He smirked a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even see. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day. But for each one of those clients, a particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do the job yet. To do that job yet. Sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo!
Why did it fade to black?
Oh, maybe because it was meant to show that they are leaving.
Oh, true.
Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that. I was quite serious when in what I told you. That the defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome.
Damn,
He will
okay.
receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
I don't know. Please don't expect an answer to every question.
It's like that fucking Squid Game, like, Uncle Ben, what happened? IDK.
The cold hard truth of the matter. is that there isn't only one person with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
Oh, okay.
I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Vortex?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh,
Our time is up here, I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. It also reminds me of Dio, like the constant like time
yeah.
in seconds.
Yeah.
How many characters did we say this guy is like?
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's like,
It's like
okay,
4.
we had Gant, Getsis, Dio, and Dracula.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and Von Karma.
yeah. The Old Bailey.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
I guess examining right now would be.
Yeah, let's examine things instead.
Let's just what to do. Any any ideas? The classic.
yeah.
Mr. Sato, can I just? Oh God.
Uh-oh. Careful! From this position, I can perform a Suzato takedown in an instant.
I know.
Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Vortex. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will!
She probably will throw me if I try to
Right
examine
there.
anything. No, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom.
If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey.
Fine, okay.
Gotta get over there. I gotta get on that plane!
Gotta get SpongeBob back.
We gotta get SpongeBob
Old
back.
Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
Do we have
Don't need to
anything
hurry.
like... No. Oh, we have the armband from Kazuma.
Just take it off his body.
Wow.
Wearing a dead guy's armband.
Yeah. Really just like they
Inspect
put the
that.
badge onto an armband. But it looks
You
cool.
should inspect that.
These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of the defense, aren't they?
Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law. And they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind.
So it's ironic. But if they're the mark of the defense, would be more auspicious if they're weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think.
So true. Very impartial, I'm sure.
Okay, let's just carry on. Wait, people. He's 52,
okay.
52 and like, okay, he looks...
Holy Grail already. Yeah.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard?
Step on it.
Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it works quite perfectly.
How much is a guinea again?
I don't fucking know.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Okay.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. It's just some fucking painting.
This is the Old Bailey. Even this room is for the defendant to wait in is grand.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm feeling tense, that's all. place gives me the same sense of foreboding I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. Oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes, and for the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam, sir.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Oh!
His eyes are so bloodshot. I
Wait,
guess
can I voice him?
you wanna voice him? Sure.
Yeah.
The Mad Hatter.
What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they?
Oh, that's great. Okay. Sorry?
Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, are yous?
We're from Japan,
God.
yes.
Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need?
Oh, this music.
Yep.
No, we're just here because...
No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat. Barely a penny to your name and all while in a strange, faraway land.
Well, actually... we haven't found a place to stay yet, no.
It's grand, it's grand.
Okay.
Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Oh no.
Oh no. He's a lender.
1,000 guineas?
Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is... It's enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What?
It's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the City of London 2 or 3 times over.
Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Oh, hit me in the eye.
Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me.
Oh?
To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. Trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now.
Oh, well, the thing is...
Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all.
So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
He wasn't just trolling us. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes! Do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names?
No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see.
I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the centre of London is another beautiful park.
Sorry, a park? What?
It's called Bigundle Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? City of Smiles, that's my vision for London. And Cosney McGundle would pay for the city and its queer old people.
That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary.
But now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Cosney McGundle. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Ha! Ha!
Alright, don't pass out.
He's just, like, built like a fucking gremlin. Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Mr. McGondle, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best.
What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yes, but I haven't actually... wasn't I really offering to just stand up there next to you?
Oh. Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
Sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it! That's the only explanation. Well?
Well... Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly!
What now?
Well, like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than you're guilty of the charges.
Oh no. Well, you call a spade in the ace, so you do.
So you did it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so...
Is that so? Because you sounded fluent enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be.
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella.
It is a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer, I mean?
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Sorry? Did he just say Reaper?
Oi, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak von Zakes. He's the prosecutor.
Oh, here we go.
So is this Von Karma? The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Von Zake stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs.
Fuck.
And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned.
So he really is like Von Karma. What?
Yep. So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand a defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barak von Zakes. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel, that would be me.
Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened.
Until you showed your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I had.
Sorry?
I decided I have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked?
Then you made an appearance, a student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Imagine if you just walked away.
Bye.
Mr. Naruhodo.
The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would have never allowed to happen. Counter for the defense! What are what are you doing? If you're ready for the start of the trial, you will use your right to stand.
Oh god.
I'll be right there. To be continued? No. It's happening then. My first trial in the British court. Hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea
Cringe and
how I'm
fail.
going to manage this.
Well, it's a big chair. It's going to be a big loading screen.
It's a big room they need to load.
Alright, let's see who we're against.
A fire hazard, nice.
Yeah!
Oh, we have a jury.
Okay. Oh shit, we do.
That's what I was waiting for. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is valuable, isn't it? So different from the Supreme Court in Japan.
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes? What?
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it.
Alright.
Oh.
Oh! Santa!
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session.
Good.
We are here today to determine the guilt of or innocence of Mr. Cosney Megando. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. What's he gonna...
You should voice this guy. I feel like I'd have my work cut out for me with the fucking British guy already.
Yeah.
But you already voiced all the characters.
It's like...
It's like a Von Karma.
The prosecution is fully prepared.
That's good.
That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really
Like a
does
vampire.
look... Yeah, with the cape. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
No,
Huh? Me no hablo inglés? Yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from ready if I tried.
He's so dramatic. Oh my god.
Those eyes please me, Nipponese.
Oh, okay.
They shroud your... Is his font text different? I don't know.
No? No, it's the same.
They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. He should sound like Dio. But like,
Yeah.
but like when he's in the shadows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation.
Perfect.
They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
Damn!
Oh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes.
That's not how spines work.
Now, Mr. McGondle,
Yes, my lord.
you stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, it's a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance?
Nice for you to automatically assume I'm less fortunate because I'm from Japan.
Everyone is less fortunate than him. He's like the Elon Musk of the world. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud.
He really is fucking Elon Musk. Hear what he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please may you go and play in the McGondle Park.
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGondle.
It's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. Surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGondle, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality.
Why does he have a knife?
Are you ready to proceed? Don't worry about it. They all have voices, I forgot.
Oh shit. Oh, this is gonna be fun. We've got lots of characters to voice.
Yes, my lord, if the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I am more than ready. At the manor, his
lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
That's good. Ha! Any criminals will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me.
What's wrong with him? Oh jeez,
Oh.
okay. He didn't even say anything. He's drinking in court.
Yeah.
Beppo, I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these knits for my grandson.
Ah, Mr.
Mr. Naruhodo, those people are...
Sorry. The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense.
That's what Phoenix tried to put in the 4th game.
So, the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
Didn't work out. So. How exactly did the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounce your fame. Pronounce your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, rather I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings here in this capacity.
Good lord.
And so, what brings you back? Is there some charge of circumstance in which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. As the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years.
Capture.
Yeah. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. Must be the only ones here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. 1 hour was some minutes after 10. The hour was some minutes after 10. Image loading. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mortar. Sorry,
bricks.
Thrice? God. He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at that time. A dagger had been thrust in the victim's abdomen and is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that in the photograph as evidence. Add it into the court record.
Very
Internal
cool.
hemorrhaging as a result of single stab wound to the abdomen. An old crooked hat. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGondle's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. Bloodstain on the right glove. How did I get into this? I'm backed in the corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mortar.
I'm better than you, so I should do the court case.
The other was the accused, Cosney McGondle.
So dramatic.
Well, rather
We skipped
damning
the last 3
circumstances to say
jurors.
the least. What did you say?
We skipped the last 2 jurors' reactions. It was just the first 3.
Yeah.
I
I was
bet you
drinking.
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing.
Mr. McGondle.
To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
It's the motion of the carriage, my lord. Look, and so it is, and when I open my eyes again, it was a desperate sight before me. Body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask you, what a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about big gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
So the blood got onto the gloves then after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? It's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Oh, okay.
And now we got reactions from them.
Yeah.
Just typing so fast.
Order! Order! When the victim took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It is a nail in the coffin for the accused.
His eyes.
Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command.
Too.
What the hell? Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. This really is motion
whack
capture.
his pee-pee. Okay, now we get to see witnesses as
So
well.
many
Oh,
oaks,
God.
so many characters.
Oh. They're all capitalism jigajinkas.
Witnesses, your name and occupations. Oh. You wanna voice him?
I don't know.
My name is Olario calls me the devil.
Yeah, that's good. I couldn't
It's
have
right when
voiced
I'll be
you.
busting the ascent. Wanna voice the middle one?
No, I want to voice the last guy.
Okay.
Little boy.
Oscar Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. I'm a banker in the city.
My
name's Lady First. Adam Lady First. I make hats for gents.
Let's begin by
good, would it?
confirming the facts. 3 days ago, about a short time after the 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you were present in the stand. All you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
Fancy font.
Yeah, what no witnesses saw. It was the late last bus of the evening. Had few customers, I remember well. The victim and the man accused of killing were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged the knife into his guts.
Right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. That's when I saw it too.
Why does he have a whip? Oh, I guess he's got a riding crop
Yeah.
for his horses.
Yeah, he took it with him. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why
Harsh.
not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our
Why
own.
is everyone racist?
But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged that for us all to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What?
Wow,
Do
how
you mean?
convenient.
The actual scene? How? The carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much.
It's like parallel to Edgeworth saying, if you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. And then he explains that when doors are locked, they are hard to open.
Yeah, yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building.
You can do
Here?
that.
What? The entire carriage? Bailiff,
Whack his baby.
bring forth the stricken omnibus.
Why does he have a scar on his face?
Oh, you know. Oh, okay.
Magic backstory. Oh my goodness gracious.
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. Can't believe they
I
could
like the
bring
gradient
something
in the
so
windows.
enormous in here. Great Britain Scout courtrooms are amazing. Yeah. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, a skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These two gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish.
I can really tell this was the first game with motion capture.
Yeah.
So up.
Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
8 states, okay.
I can't believe it, the entire crime scene entered as evidence. Hang on. We just
Oh my gosh.
move this around. Phoenix Ride Omnibus.
Phoenix, right?
What?
What do you mean?
Nothing out
I
of
can't
place.
find anything out of place. I think that's pretty out of place. What does it say on the door? Job Master's London head office. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London's streets from up here.
We'll sit all the way up here on the bitter winter nights, with the cold air brushing past them. I have to pay money to do so?
I can't imagine how cold it must feel.
That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as punishment?
Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late.
So true.
I read.
Will you examine the roof?
I was
London
wondering what the door said, but it said Joe Masters.
Job Masters.
Oh, Job Masters.
Yeah.
Bitrate's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
What
Fine.
does that green sign say?
It doesn't say anything.
You can't examine it?
Or can I can wait. Oh yeah, okay. I can examine this
Is
from
that
this side. Oh, okay.
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ugh, the scene of a murder, it's horrible.
Yeah, it is fucking ugly in here.
Wow, VR view. Ah, that's a poster from the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, centerpiece of the whole exposition. The Splatoon Tower.
It's based on a real tower, you know.
I know, it
Ooh,
looks like
Crystal
it from this
Tower.
angle.
It's under construction already, I believe. Yeah, that is true. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Alright. Seats. What else?
Seats. Oh, there's blood. There's a notice.
Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to... Okay, that's the same. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stamp somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whatever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Probably wouldn't matter. Okay, let's leave.
I had to resist making a period blood joke about that.
Well, you just did.
Yeah, but it sounds funny. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary.
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here.
I just did that.
Yeah. Let us continue with the proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray, don't expect this Nepalese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Okay, buddy. I like that animation.
Yeah. Alright, my first cross-examination in the British court. Focus, Rinosuke. Focus.
He's so scrunkly.
Well, the audio had to, like, load in. what the witnesses
Yeah.
saw. The last omnibus of New York had a few customers. I remember it. Oh, I remember it well. I may need to press everything here.
Hold it!
Hold it.
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh yes, sir, that's right, sir. Yes, it been so cold it was freezing, in fact.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, there's nothing, no one is really saying anything. You had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling passengers in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No passengers like that. None. It's very difficult to read while you're doing that.
Yeah,
So nobody
that's fair.
fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does every last bus of the day.
I think having him stutter is good anyway, because
Yeah.
it's fitting.
But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what is it with being so cold and everything? The only making 20 pence on the round, you see? Yes, I spent that much on the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again.
Oh.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other on the omnibus.
Hold it!
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage. That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Need to work on my
Must
accent.
not feel the cold.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
There was a lamp on the inside, so I had plenty good view. I had plenty good view. The 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's
Aha.
not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGondle. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put this politely? McGondle is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have possibly mistaken him for anyone else.
That's another really short guy.
Yeah. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to the hull, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mortar and Mr. McGondle. Also, probably I have problems reading because I only slept for 5 hours.
That's fair.
There is no room for doubt here. Ugh, I really wish there was.
Well, you're bingo now.
Now the blue accused just reached over and plunged a knife into his guts.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Or are fair dinkum hardworking city bankers not considered trustworthy these days?
Fair dinkum.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could tell us what you saw in a little more detail, that is. My lord! Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? I completely forgot to do a voice. What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord! Completely and utterly made up! I think that's a better voice for him. Made up about what?
That's fine.
I don't really like the stinking rich, never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't have. Every one of them.
You're one to talk.
And that little
Why he
leprechaun
lit it
of a
on
man
fire?
is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
What the fuck? You can do that? Okay.
There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. That is precisely what I was about to say. Yeah, I need to give him like a different way. Like, that is precisely what I was about to say.
Make him sound like capitalism.
Like capitalism, okay. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
Oh god.
What the... What's happening here?
Welcome to England, bitch.
Welcome to London.
Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty.
Racist.
As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case. Wait, 6? Oh yeah, there is 6. One by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean...
Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Ugh, now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Ah, this is a nightmare.
Right, he stabbed him.
He smacked his pee-pee. He stabbed him, you say? You were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats.
Okay.
I remember seeing Little Gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly. That huge, bright knife.
No. A grim sight. A grim sight indeed. Ah, that didn't help me at all. They look like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before.
That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGundle is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Mr. Lady first.
Oh, yes, sir.
Is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it. That's the very one, sir.
Oh, it's like sheathed, it looks like. Is that? Yes, counsel. This is a blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. You really are like a vampire.
Yeah, fucking Dracula.
That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Ugh, please,
Anyone
no.
could be named M.
Me. M. For Cosney, perhaps, or McGundle, possibly. Take your pick. Well, not Cosney, but I think his name was different in the translation.
Probably.
It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes. Like in mortar.
Objection!
Oh.
Oh,
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Must be quite
largish
valuable.
knife.
Yeah.
My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Ah, juror number 2, go on.
Mr. McGundle is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish!
Nice.
Wow. Fire hazard.
No!
I don't wish to cause offence, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
Oh my god. She hasn't talked
Did she
before.
say anything, or just...
No.
Oh, I guess I'll voice her. Fuck.
Like a teacher voice, I guess.
Yeah, like a librarian voice, but I don't know if I can fucking do that.
Like Michael Rosen doing a teacher, like, or his mom, like, look out the window!
No! No breathing! No, I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts.
That's good.
Good enough. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Good lord.
Oh my god. Not again.
That's 4 out of 6 jury members who've proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left.
We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that no more sparks may well fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... Alright, I'll keep trying. Can't give up. Just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Last I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. The last one was... okay, that was him.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see?
Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
Laps on the floor? Hold up.
Wait,
He was
what?
in his chair.
And by the passenger, obviously you are referring to the victim, Mr. Mortar, the brickmaker.
And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this.
Uh-huh.
By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Cosney Magondo.
And he punched the knife down like this, stabbing the other victim in the belly.
What?
He's so short.
My lord, I wish to speak. Yes,
My headcanon is he sounds like the fat juror. Or not the fat juror, the fat conductor from fucking... Oh, fat controller from
Thomas?
Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't know how that guy sounds.
yes,
but
juror
he's,
number
like, the
5,
same
I
type.
take it that you... Oh, I take it that you too? What does he sound like? Hang on.
I don't know.
Because like there's like 7 different narrators.
Oh, true.
I guess I'll do like the Michelangelo's one.
Just pick any. Yeah.
Yeah. As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself.
Oh my god.
Imagine all the carriages are alive. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind all along. Gear up now, Silver Brace. The finish is in sight.
Okay. We just have the old lady.
Yeah. Probably wasn't paying attention. Rappo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
Ugh, this is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then, pray tell, why are you led to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. Magundle Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
He's always
He
doing,
is always
doing wonderful things for the city.
city.
That's right, a man like him wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to Mengandel Public Library and borrow some more books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? You people not know? What kind of a man Cosney McGundle really is? Oh, is this his theme?
Music.
What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist Cosney McGundle has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly.
But he hasn't.
But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the darkest of souls. What?
Stone the crows!
McGundle lends money at extraordinary rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties have deserted you, I'm sure, madam. His voice keeps changing.
It's fine.
So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Cosney McGundle. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mortar was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house, he had nothing but a shilling to which to repay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Cosney McGundle. I don't believe it. Oh.
Oh, that's her. If I might add something briefly.
Mrs. Sato?
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGundle. But where is the evidence to support your claim? He ate it. What the fuck? He's gonna do the thing.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in the court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Ziek's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
As judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage, that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all the monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh!
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
Okay, buddy.
A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence.
Of course you will.
Ah yes, 20 guineas. Victim owed a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense.
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel.
Oh no.
No. Still. Maybe it's all for the best.
Ah, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before...
I don't stand for nonsense. Really?
Oh, okay.
Now the courtroom is on fire.
Isn't that fucked? Oh, isn't that fucked up
Oh.
that like they can just interrupt the trial at any point?
Yeah. They had to wait.
Yeah,
I guess not.
that was it. Last year's decision.
Oh, according to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
A footnote.
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Where'd the cup go?
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial. What did you say?
Such a bootlicker.
Is... By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections.
Objection.
Oh, that's a different sprite.
Yeah.
Or not sprite, pose. Miss Susato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yeah?
You were in the middle of saying something before. A footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense. What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. Pull your head up.
Summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected?
Good lord. Ah!
Judging from the binding, I would say that that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
What even is it, Miss Susato? The so-called summation examination?
Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before even understanding what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
So racist, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand.
he is very racist.
It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse the decisions? Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. That procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit really, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try it in his day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? I want to put a wet piece of cheese on his face.
Summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right
Forget
to carry
it.
out or admit defeat?
Forget it.
Yeah, forget it. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe we could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
Get his ass.
This is madness.
No! This is...
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant not to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather pulling us on the spot.
It's most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really... What was this in the voice again?
I don't know.
I don't really hold with all this justifying log. It seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, it just may be. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Mr. Kazi McGondle, guilty of the most serious crime. The jurors' contentions. Yes, this is the new mechanic I was waiting for. In the fan translation, it's called like the closing argument.
Oh.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it'd have to have been him. I also like this music too.
I trust the driver. He has excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fares are our motto. We haven't raised the prices above 4 pence for years.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
Starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. To throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? Thought I was going to have to father icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
Great. I see, so it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way then, this is similar to regular cross-examinations.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off, yeah. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord.
Ratio.
Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal.
Oh my god, yeah, of course he has that.
First totaling 20 pence. Like the chop next to him, just like this. Brazen, I'm gonna say absolutely brazen.
I think it's the 6th lady. She says that he was stabbed on the floor, but he was in his seat.
Yeah.
Hold it!
I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow just like this.
Yes, that is what he said. You're right.
Gundle Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh help. She's as sure as sure that he can be guilty. She's as sure can be that he's guilty now.
The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she?
Such a weird angle.
Yeah.
Was she reading my thoughts?
So, we just need to find 2 jurors with contradictory statements and put them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking?
How did you know?
Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in just such a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid.
I think it's just a repeat of
not
what
right
you said
now.
to me.
True.
Oh, he's doing the Kazuma desk slam.
Oh, I get it. No, I need to work this out for myself now. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking?
How did you know?
Well, that sort of attitude is most admirable, Mr. Naruhodo.
I know just what I have to do. Let's listen to those assertions one more time. Yeah, these are pretty... I don't need to press for both of these.
I guess him.
Yeah. So he says, like, he stabbed him next to him, and she says he got stabbed on the floor, like he was stabbed once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Objection!
Objection. Okay, the music stopped.
Those two statements are completely contradictory.
I like this angle.
What? Explain yourself, counsel, post haste.
Oh dearie me! I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What's all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? I ask you. Oh, we've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
I'm fucking destroying the desk.
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck to the fellow next to him when we were getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do you for, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now
Really?
don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in completely different directions. What? What?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle.
But this tells us that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
Why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
Oh shit.
The scales.
I don't believe it.
Hell yeah. You're doing it, gamers.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Fuck. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warned you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
God. Why are you racist?
I could use magic. Do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What if the two witnesses have slightly different recollections of the events? What of it? Let's say the Sherlock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say that the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Sherlock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm?
He's only stabbed once.
Who you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you.
Fight, 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 fight.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now.
Good.
But could the
that
foreman
he
of the
pushes up
jury
the
be
armband.
right? Yeah. You didn't have it before, so you didn't have that animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of the question because the autopsy report.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. Huh? What is it, you dog jinx? Come on, out with it!
As if-
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that?
I think people say man in this game so much.
Yeah. You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction.
You mean the wrong direction.
So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say that two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. You say that's out of the question? Then show me some proof.
On the autopsy report.
Yeah, it's exactly the only way I can convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some
Well,
irrefutable
then you
hard
have that.
evidence. Yeah. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw the two different moments of the same crime, as proven by autopsy report.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mortar was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Eh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. Oh, I concede defeat. Like I'm only taking one voice to all of them.
And it's hard to do, like...
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it. If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
Two more. Actually, there's something else that's been bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
I need to pit two more jurors against each other to show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh on on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Okay. I can't do anything against this now. Because it's like... It's
Yeah.
for us. I'm no lover of the rich, but I despise liars even more. Innocent is my call, for now at least. Yeah, it's... okay. I wonder if the poor man is innocent after all. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. 4 passengers, totaling 20 pence.
Wait. 4 pence each.
I haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years.
8, 12, 16.
That would be
So there's a
60.
5th passenger.
Yes.
Objection!
Objection.
Yeah. His objection is kind of weak, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a little weak.
Those
bitch.
two statements clearly contradict each other. They do. Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on the Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the grip testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. It's like the owner of Costco refusing to raise the price of his hot dogs. In fact, it reads...
If you raise the price of the fucking carriage fare, I will kill you. Figure it out.
In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. You do the multiplication.
It would be 15 pence.
Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
He's so smug.
Yeah. 1 person's fare? Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night. It's distinctly possible. There was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious!
Just pointing at them.
Yeah. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
Figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make this so this miserable trial doesn't end, Have you been paying attention?
Like your fingers.
Oh, was this the one we were supposed to do first? Ah, whatever.
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
Right. Evil, it's equal.
Ah, this is all very irritating.
All... Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same. Oh shit.
Damn, we did it. For the
We
love
did it,
of
Reddit.
Mike, not you as well.
Like... A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. You didn't expect that.
Wait, that means... Forgers are now leading to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! I mean, not yet, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. We've had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
You have to do that.
He's a
You
barber.
have to do that.
Gonna hold on this for a little while. Please tell me he's a barber.
So true.
Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events. The defense's summation examination has flipped this balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate.
Adjudicate? I don't know.
The trial must continue.
Nope.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth.
Prosecutor's been quiet.
Been real quiet since the summation examination dropped. So, Lord Van Zieks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Is he gonna throw the glass? I want to see him throw the glass.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Ooh! Okay.
Having savored
worse.
the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
This is the most emotion he will ever show.
Lord Van Zieks! Is it cold in here or is it just me?
Wait, do that brr again. That was funny. You're like a cat. Funny. Alright.
As your antiquated tome of no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination.
That's why he was quiet. Okay.
So I honor the
Wasn't
deathly
just him being a
silence.
little bitch.
And I listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury.
Wow, you're such a bitch.
Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? Why else would we grace our presence with the court? Grace the courtroom with our presence after all. So, let's proceed to the next round of battle.
It's not chess, you dumb fucker.
Oh.
Oh.
Bring forth the witnesses once more.
He's so dramatic.
He didn't even bother to take off his coat the first time. Witnesses! I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Shut up.
Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir.
Of course we heard it!
Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo.
Yes,
Little
sir.
Beepo.
Little
Feel
Beepo.
fucking miserable.
My lord, sir.
If it transpires in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio,
Oh, he's Italian. Okay.
Oh, he's Italian, okay.
Yep.
How am I gonna do that?
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia! Now then, witnesses, I hereby...
You know, I should have thought so. Beppo is kind of like...
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
guess. I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. All these voices, Christ.
Yeah. There's a lot of characters compared to the fucking, like, 5 people on the ship.
Yeah, I only carried 4 passengers that night. I don't know how I could do an Italian accent.
I can't do an Italian accent either. It's
I only
can't help
carried
you.
4 passengers that night. I swear it, but
Well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Oh. He filled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
Oh, I tell you, I saw McGonagall stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him, that he did. I think so, yes.
You think so?
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please.
Figure it out, asshole.
The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage.
Ah. Beppo, explain yourself.
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. Oh, his eyes are like painted on.
That's scary.
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board, you know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare?
Whole penny.
It's so cold and the run of the day is always half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. You are not a very useful engine, Beppo. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
You are not the guy. If I may, sir. I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures.
Good lord.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. Already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. As you intend to continue the parlor games? Absolutely. Oh my god. I have to like lean back on this chair.
Various misgivings.
My neck hurts. Okay. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but... Okay. 5 pence for the bus. That blood
I think
curling...
it was
I want to
when
press on
Beppo
this.
says something like, I think I saw it. Like, you think?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
But this also I kind of want to press on.
Hold it! Fair. You should probably save at some point, too.
Yeah, it auto saves, so it's fine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir!
Allow some sight, no one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the morning his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Good gracious, really? Another witness who did, however. The banker had already testified to it. But Mr. Ladyfus doesn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. This may turn out to be very significant. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that whole blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't stop screaming, even when I'm eating.
Samagon stabbing that man, as I said before, stands. Hang on, press. So you saw the defendant, Mr. Maganda, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mortar, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? Was bothering me before this was. Was bothering me before this was. Just for a brief moment he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet, 0 evidence. And what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. Hang on, what do we have again? I haven't examined... Oh wait, that's the murder weapon. Can I unsheath this?
That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades.
Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Well,
Okay.
ugh, it looks like a lot of blood.
Surely is blood. The victim's.
That sure is blood. Oh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like Japanese man's blood.
Oh shit!
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only arrived here in Great Britain, but the British had green blood. I'm finding it a little hard to
No, they have
adjust.
blue blood.
Yes, I do understand.
Okay, is there anything else? Oh, the M. Right. An ordinate letter M, undeniably Kazuni Magando's initial. Blue.
And
Oh.
it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Ah!
What is it?
Look at this M. Turn it upside down and it becomes a W. This could change everything.
Oh my god. So whose name starts with a W?
A
That.
W?
W for Wumbo.
This could be one of those, you know, turnabout cases, I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know at all. What I am sure of is that this is an M.
Okay.
Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. Alright. Examine this.
No, we haven't read that yet.
Warframe is getting all sorts of secrets to the London's gentry.
Oh dear. Do you really think we ought to look inside?
It's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Or from a great detective friend, perhaps?
He's gonna be in there.
Actually, I wonder.
I assure you we will not find Mr. Holmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. It's all
Fancy.
Holmes. Wow. Oh god. Okay.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Ah, goodness.
What is it?
Look at this. Do you see the name here?
Oscar Fairplay. Oh.
Ooh.
That means something to me. It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
The witnesses.
Oscar Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 Guinness, did he? And look, their payment date is fast approaching.
Oh.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
Okay, so there was a reason to do this after all.
Yep.
Okay, this page.
Anything else?
No.
Nah, same dialogue.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
I guess we can press him with that.
I don't think that's something we can object with, though, because, you know...
Yeah.
He's stabbing, I think so, yes, okay.
Hold it!
Earlier you testified that you saw the moment the victim allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said the victim was on the floor and described this assailant as holding a knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose.
Suppose?
I might have, just put in the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was trying to feed the horses when I heard the scream from the top seats of the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
And then I turned around and yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right, yes, the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. Wow, he's very lawyering right now.
He's lawyering so hard.
Yeah.
I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head... No, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing. Did I?
Ruth?
He's very disturbed, it looks like.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Why are you eating your cane?
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh?
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. Might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. But I've just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed. Some days are like that.
Some days. No chance.
No chance.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping for a
he's got
skylight
the
on top of
Phoenix
on top of
pose.
an omnibus, that is. Yeah.
He's baby.
Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it clear as a Ballarat sky.
Wait, that... Ballarat Day, okay.
It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me, I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Oh, I can do that, alright. Oh, I can do that, alright. I'll tell you how grim it was.
Smells alright.
Do you think I'd forget to shut off those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed that man?
But there was only... Wait, no, that was just...
Yeah, there was just one glove.
Yeah, it was just one stained glove.
Objection!
It starts with one thing. I don't know why.
Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying on a little thick, but... Well, anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it.
He's getting in now.
Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What?
What?
Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGondle, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. There certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. In short,
Is he
Mr.
okay?
Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But no, that can't be right.
So you're the liar here, then?
Why is he doing that?
No.
That's right, you were quite clear about it too. You said it was both hands.
This is
Oh my
dangerous.
god. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
God, this is
Not this bitch
chaos.
again.
Was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes,
I
it
can
wasn't
and I
both
will.
hands, but it was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Objection.
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over his hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Oh, this is where you bring out the booklet, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have
Big
no
word.
reason to lie. Is that really the case?
Big load, big load.
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely.
Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony.
I wonder what that is.
My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony.
I was mad.
Yeah. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of debtors that who owe money to Mr. McGondle. Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused's extortion.
And shut up.
The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Oscar Fairplay. Gah. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this
Oh, you say.
ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Oh, 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? I like this finger tap he does.
Yeah.
Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGondle were to be found guilty of murder. What will become of your debt in that case? These documents say that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sent to capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled, would cease to exist.
Yeah, no shit. How are you gonna pay a dead person?
Yeah,
Cease to exist?
more like how you're gonna pay if you're dead. Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have something you never in fact saw, I've seen something I never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant. Grr. Grr.
Okay, that's funny. Wasn't as dramatic of a breakdown as I was hoping.
Oh, that's
Still
funny.
funny.
Order, order! Mr. Oscar Fairplay! Yes, my lord! Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Grr. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, let's not.
You are cringe and fail.
Alright, let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate this truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGondal's hands, both of them.
Objection!
That's true, then why isn't there?
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. Grr, so you keep sighing.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Lady First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
Blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes, I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one.
That means it wasn't him, then, that you saw. What? What? He takes physical damage.
Look, oh, never mind, it switched the scene.
The like when he's on the bench.
Yeah, I meant, fucking... I've forgotten her name. I've like...
Susato?
Susato, yeah. I love the way she was looking at him, like, collapsed on the bench. Genuine concern.
It would appear we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to precisely... Again... This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yes! Might finally have a
Yes.
chance to turn things around here. I need to find a more distinct voice for the judge.
It's fine, I
can
think.
do better. Oh, okay. There was blood on both of his hands, on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing transpire, if that matters.
It does matter. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen. Well, lo and behold. Maybe that's better. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I kind of like that better, maybe, because it's easier to do
that's more
like,
distinctive.
Yeah. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage. The man's hands were covered in blood. Hang on a second. You have the omnibus itself, and if I don't think I can zoom this out. But I
don't think we fully inspected
I don't think they would be able to see...
there was another seat that we didn't look at.
They wouldn't be able to see these seats, I don't think.
No.
We didn't see this second set of seats.
Yeah, we didn't see the seat that didn't have blood on it.
The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. Only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here. Why
A
is that
woman in a
relevant?
kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they?
Exactly. So true.
It's so based. Yeah,
He's
but
such an ally.
they they wouldn't be able to see. Like both these seats point in this direction. I don't think they would be able to see like
Oh.
under them.
Yeah.
That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change of the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord.
My lord, that's soap.
If that matters. It does
Doesn't
matter. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could have possibly done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 Guinness outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Alright, well, that's not entirely not what I was hoping for.
Get him!
I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. Oh, I spent it
a
all
little
on gambling.
gambling
I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker, no one bets tonight if I borrow all of spending money for the weekend.
Oh, really? You stole from the bank?
Wow.
Is that what you're saying?
I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? Hang on. Oh, that was... I heard that scream.
Cream I just scrumped.
Hold it!
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh, yes, I remember. I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather breaks the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
Really?
It was locked. That's right, but it's a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. Tried knocking, the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off.
Just put middle finger at me.
Fuck off, bitch. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. unequivocal, I would say. Not sure about these two witnesses. They really have seen everything from inside the cabin through the skylight.
They might not have been able to.
Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh yeah, the music stopped.
Yeah, you were riding this omnibus. And witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly! Really?
Obviously, at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. At the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the closed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. In the fan translation, he just says Japanese boy. Which is even worse.
Okay.
After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh.
It's not flesh. It's made
It
out
is
of
not
wood.
by my hand I am once again given flesh.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated?
Isn't
Here.
it there?
Yeah, I guess so.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here. Unless
Like the,
you leaned
Professor
forward, I
Layton
guess.
looking silhouettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be leaning pretty far forward though.
I'll mention once again, I did see like this game before, like I did watch it, but only once. I don't remember the details, so most of this I'm still like
Fair.
figuring out myself.
Yep.
Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one which the victim and his attacker were sitting on is obscured from view. In other words, someone had been sitting on that seat. It's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
You with your objections and your evidence.
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a foreboding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity.
Okay, bitch.
I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In the British court of law, evidence is paramount.
I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to pull a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
And you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Fuck no. I honestly don't know who could have been. Could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witness on the roof deck. I have no idea. Wait.
It was Splatoon.
I have an inkling. I mean,
It was Squid Games. Wait. Go through the like ages and stuff. I want to see like how old is? Okay, he's 21. All right, middle liner.
34, 62,
62,
54,
4,
32.
32.
Yeah,
48.
48.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I
I just wanted to see the age of fucking little. Actually, I guess we can't see the ages of the jury. Or not the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jury.
The jurors.
Yeah. Sad. I wanted to see the age of the jurors, but I guess we can't.
Yeah.
Because they don't have names or anything like that. I have no idea.
Ugh, I have literally no idea.
But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire,
You will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on.
This isn't just a case of going on, Miss Susato. Alright then, I'll go on.
Just looks at him like,
The
"Bitch."
defense would like to put forward a name.
You have to, no matter what.
You are
You are
a fool.
fool.
That
really
response
is
was
a
a
Von
desperate
Karma.
attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us
Hey,
not delay,
Shakespeare.
Counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn this trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, I have actually, unless we have to,
Yeah.
propose that one of the people we do know has been sitting there, so that
Yeah,
McGonagall was
I got no
someone
idea.
else.
It was Susato.
Take that!
Oh, the music
Alright.
stopped.
Oh, the music stopped. Alright.
The passenger in the
We got
enclosed cabin that the witness on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Cosney McGonagall. Mr. McGonagall?
It's
Oh, that's
Mr. McGonagall. That's fine.
What are you talking about, Counsel? What's the name of the defendant?
Objection!
Oh, he did it!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
How many of those do you have?
Lord Van Zeeks!
He's like fucking Godot with the coffee mugs.
Yeah. Those people talk
Stop
of those
being
tiny...
racist.
And my stomach is just like, I need food. Those people talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having learning and culture of their own. But I see they use terms ill-advisedly. What are you
Stop
trying to
being
say?
racist.
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. Yeah, neither of them look like McGonagall.
No.
We have this image, hang on. I don't know who's on the left.
Yeah.
Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
Objection.
That premise may be wrong. What?
Maybe jump at me now, motherfucker.
The victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGonagall. It's an inconsistency that can be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, Counsel? Defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly, they both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, if their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. Was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night? A third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? What?
It was you. I was gonna say I like the music.
Yeah. Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary! Order! Order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is that is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could not see the rest of— I could see the rest of them though.
That's right, both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular set styles of hats did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. Lady First? That's not even the voice he had. God.
I'm afraid I don't remember.
You call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGonagall, would have undoubtedly have offered to depose of the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ah! Oh, she is looking at him.
Yeah.
He's right. There
Speaking
was another
of, he hasn't
person.
said anything in a while.
Yeah. There was another person traveling in the closed cabin of the omnibus. It's inconceivable that Mr. McGonagall would have been unaware of it. He just stopped trying to read so fast.
He was asleep. He was asleep.
Order! Oh yeah, he was asleep. There's clearly a simple solution. There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGonagall, to the stand.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a false statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Cosney McGonagall is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man who has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, do we ask Mr. McGonagall to testify or not? Demand his testimony.
Get in here, bitch.
Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth.
How long is this case?
Apparently it's shorter than the second episode. The defense would like to call Mr. McGonagall to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Ah, yes, I need time to consider this.
Of course you do.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGonagall has to say.
Get the men out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favourite little park has to say, oh yes, would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. It's like 12 characters here.
Yeah.
Now maybe what
This is a
actually
lot.
happened that night finally become clear. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGonagall, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
To be sure I have, my lord.
There are now two matters at which the court desires to hear from you. The first, whether or not was there a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second, whether such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police?
Hey, God, no! It's not in my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
Truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep me mouth shut?
Tell us what, Mr. McGondle?
I should sit up in my chair. Fuck.
The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true!
Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened.
What? You... What?! No, Cousin McGondle. That convenient excuse can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not in any way involved, you see.
What?
If
What?
the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom, just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. Okay.
And who was this young child of whom would you speak?
That, I don't know.
You don't know.
Oi, well, the wee teen just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
I have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. If the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings.
What?
Uh,
Ah, smoke! Ah, fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! After them! There's no use! I can't see anything! What is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! I hereby call an emergency recess! Bailiff! Ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom!
Goodness, okay.
You're hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in the desperation to flee the chamber. Had no idea what was happening, all we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Shouldn't
Okay.
have had all that fucking fire in your courthouse.
Yeah.
To be continued. Well,
Right.
I guess
we
this is a
should
good
take a break here.
this is a good point to stop, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
15 minutes early, but
no. It's fine.
no, I don't want to stay. Good grief. Okay.
Wait. Okay. Well. Okay, it's just going back into this. Okay, whatever. We'll just stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess next week we're gonna be continuing this as normal.
Yeah.
Alright. There's really not much to say, so we'll see you next week, and I hope this was still entertaining, even though I am terrible with keeping track of these voices.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters to keep track of, as opposed to like when it was on the boat.
Yeah, there was
And
like,
it was like
6. Now it's like
six people.
6 jurors, the judge,
Yeah, 6 jurors, like
3
3
witnesses.
witnesses, the judge, the
Yeah.
prosecutor, the suspect.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's alright. It's alright.
She'll
Alright.
be right.
Alright, we'll see you next week then. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye bye.